What's going on? How we all doing? All right, so today we are going to talk about the update. I'm not gonna lie, I just took a little bit of a nap. What's going on, Angel? What's going on, Air Guardian? How you all doing? You all remarkable people. It's a lot of highs. Hi, everybody. So I'm super excited. The meta is finally changing. This is what I've been waiting for. What's going on, everybody? You guys are all remarkable people. What's going on? Yeah, I know I got my big beard. This is going soon. This is going soon. But yeah, so anyway, so we got a lot to discuss. We're going to talk about some of these trait changes. We're going to talk some about the meta. Trying to put as much energy as I can into this live feed. I've been really tired lately. I've been planning my 13-hour trip over to Wyoming. So it's been a really busy time. Very, very busy time. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I am so excited for the Priestess nerf. So excited for the Priestess nerf. All they gotta do now is for Spectator, and I'll stop complaining. So we got a lot. We got a lot to talk about. It's a big update. There's a lot of stuff that's happening. Before I start this feed, I want to tell you guys something. I want to thank you all. Listen, there's no such thing as a perfect human being. We all have our inadequacies, we have our pros, we have our cons, we have our weaknesses, we have our strengths. And I want you to remember something. There will always be a group of people that will appreciate you for who you are. Don't waste your time vying for the attention of people who are irrelevant in your life because you will waste a lot of energy. So for all you out there, make sure that you continue vibing with the people who love and appreciate you, and you better damn well love and appreciate them as well. So let's talk about some of these perks. I got it on my phone. Oh, yeah, we got a lot to talk about, baby. We got a lot to talk about. All right, so let's get to it. So we're going to talk about the fact that the talent limit has increased to 120. Okay, so we're going to talk about some of the current meta shifts. We're going to talk about maybe possibly what I think is going to be the best hunter build. I didn't have enough time today to really look at the survivor builds. I will have to come out with some new persona builds. What I like about this persona update is that there is absolutely going to be more flexibility. I don't think that there's going to be just one or two persona builds that you can use anymore. I think people are going to, for the most part, use different things to their own individual advantages. And I think that it allows flexibility for teams to really come up with comps and different strategies to really help one another. So I'm really, really excited for the 120. I think it's going to benefit hunters more than it's going to benefit survivors. That's just my opinion. That's what I think as of now. Could be wrong. I'm a man. I'm wrong all the time, right? But we're going to see how that ends up working. Let's talk about some of these perks, though. So we're going to break it down. We're going to go one by one, and then we're going to talk about Priestess. We're going to talk about a whole bunch of stuff. And then I'm going to take some questions because you guys are remarkable people. Can you believe almost 19,000 subs? That is absolutely crazy. I think YouTube is kind of a joke. I think a lot of YouTubers are jokes too. They're all friendly to you on YouTube, and then they brag about their rank and constantly got to boast in the private Discord. Ain't that right? But it's cool, and I'm not going to pretend like I don't appreciate it. So I want to thank you guys all. I'm not everybody's cup of tea for sure. I kind of ruffle some feathers a bit with my opinions and my analysis. That's just how it works. But who I am is who I am. Same stuff I say in public, I'll say it privately. You guys are remarkable people. Just remember that. All right, let's do this. So Hindsight is replaced with a new talent, no survivors. Within the range of 10 meters from a knocked down survivor, each free moving survivor will increase the hunter's attack speed by 10% with a maximum of 3 stacks. So my problem with this is that it doesn't talk about being on the rocket chair, it just says being knocked down. So I guess it could be a forward counter, maybe. Enchantress counter to a degree. It's going to be replacing Hindsight. So let me look at something here because I tried to take as many screenshots as I can or as I could. And so the thing with Hindsight for those who don't know, if it's in the same spot, that's where hindsight is. It's in the southwest corner. Okay. Um, I think it's going to be better than what was there. What hindsight essentially was at the time is that for every rocket chair that's broken down or after two, you get an increase, but not a lot of people play Gardener. So I think overall the devs they're doing a good job making this perk more viable. They're essentially saying that if you're going to get down and there's people around you trying to stun you, you'll have a better attack recovery rate. Or was it attack recovery rate? Hold on, let me go back on here. You guys can tell I'm getting old. All right. Within the range of 10 meters from a knockdown survivor, each free moving survivor will increase the hunter's attack speed by 10% with a maximum of 3 stacks. So my problem with the attack speed is that although your attack speed will be faster, it doesn't do anything about attack recovery rate. That's my biggest concern. So if all you're going to do is attack faster, it doesn't tell me anything about your attack recovery rate. But it's still better than the perk that's there. So this is a good thing. All right, so this is the first perk. Let's talk about the second perk, okay? Lurk. Lurk is replaced with a new talent, Desperate Fight. Stunned again after 15 seconds, and stun recovery speed is increased by 20% with a maximum increase of 60%. So essentially, if you get stunned and then you get stunned again, you have a decrease in your stun time by 20%. This is going to prevent chain stun. So the real question is, where is it going to be on the persona tree? And on the persona tree, it's going to be right there. Now, this is interesting because Lurk was something that no one really used. That was essentially if you're within 24 meters, the cipher machine will light up yellow. Not a lot of people use it because a lot of us use headphones or we have good sound. So when we have tinnitus that's around 32 meters, we can usually hear the cipher machine being worked on. So you didn't really ever need Lurk, and they understood that. So now they're replacing it. Will people select it? The ability to decrease stun duration? Possibly. And the reason why they possibly may use this is because it's my belief that for some hunters, the right wing is now going to be the persona meta. It's my prediction. We'll talk about that in a little bit. It doesn't mean that all hunters are going to use it, but it is my prediction. We'll talk about that in a second. So again, what's meaningful about this is that the devs have now replaced two completely useless perks with ones that actually have real meaning, which is something. It's good. It's better than having useless perks there that nobody is ever going to use. Are they going to be hot topics? Possibly, especially with the current meta. And I think that a lot of hunters are going to have to start building based on the chemical makeup of the characters or survivors that are being selected. Oh, you're going against a forward or a prospector or an enchantress or a wildling. Boom. If you go on the right wing, you already have that on. It's just it takes 1 point. Or, yeah, I think it's going to be 1 point. What's going on, Cat? All right. Wicked Hound is replaced with a new talent, Wanted Order. When a survivor is placed on a rocket chair, the remaining 3 survivors, blah, blah, blah. So pretty much Wicked Hound is going to be, I believe, where Wanted Order was. Now, Wanted Order used to be at the edge of the right wing. You saw photographers sometimes use that, to be honest with you. That's really the only hunter that would use that. So it seems like it's being relocated. So Wicked Hound. So we're gonna show you guys where this is at. I should put it on my live feed, but I'm just way too lazy to do it. Now the thing is that Wicked Hound, that's what used to prolong footsteps. So this is the south, northeast. It's the northeast wing. It was all the way up. Now, no one ever invested 3 points or any of that nonsense into prolonging footprints. No one ever used that. So now what they're doing is that they're increasing it to the side up there where Wanted Order will be. Will people use it? We'll figure it out. Because here's the thing. There may be more important perks to build, but it's going to be based on what the current meta is for that hunter. Not all hunters are going to have the same builds anymore, right? So if a lot of people, in my opinion, are probably going to go on the right wing, and we'll talk about that in a second. So if you already have the right wing unlocked, then you can allocate a few points with the 120. It may be worth it. It's going to be hard for you to go and invest in some of the newer perks that may be somewhere else on the persona tree that you're not unlocking. You can't invest in something that's in the northwest corner if you haven't invested in the north. So you're kind of confined with what the current meta shift is. And really what we were doing is we were focusing a lot on that right wing. And we're going to talk about that in 1 second as to why the right wing is going to be very important with the current meta shift. Raven flopped is now replaced with a new talent, Hunter's Instinct. Each uninjured survivor will increase the hunter's movement speed by 0.5%, 1%, 1.5% when not in pursuit. However, once tier 1 skill is unlocked, it would no longer increase the hunter's movement speed. Okay, so this is Raven's Flock that got replaced. We're going to talk about this right here. Now, here's what's interesting. This is very important because this is on the right wing. So instead of the stupid ravens that would alert the hunter, one of the most useless perks in the game, they've replaced that. And they're essentially saying that now you're, as a hunter, when you're not in pursuit, you're going to have increased movement speed. Now, if you use the right wing, which again, we're going to talk about in a second as to why that might be the new meta shift, this perk is going to help you with beginning movement speed in the beginning of the game. And if you have it maxed out, which you're going to, it's going to increase your movement speed in the beginning of the game for about 6%, especially if people are not building insolence because they want the ability to have 2 traits, which I think is really, really important. I think some hunters aren't going to capitalize on that. I think that there's some hunters that absolutely need their insolence, like Gamekeeper, for instance. But now that's going to be very important if the right wing is going to be an important shift. And so with that being said, now you're going to have about a 6% movement speed in the beginning of the game, which isn't that bad. 6%, yeah, 6% movement speed, which isn't that bad because we all know the importance of early game and the ability to find the survivors that you're looking at. All right, let's get back to it. I'm really excited. I'm flying through some of this stuff because I'm very excited to talk about some certain things about this update. So Raven's Flock was garbage. All right. This is super important. Doom Shock is gone, baby! Hey, yo, Doom Shock, get your butt out of here. We don't ever want to deal with you again, ever. Bye, boo, boo. We don't got time for your 20% probability garbage making me go down. Oh, my God, Doom Shock, bye, ma, bye. I'm not going to miss you at all. Not giving you child support. Sayonara. Never come back to the game again. You're super annoying. And this is definitely also going to have huge implications for 2 versus 8. Because everybody knew that in 2 versus 8, that Doom Shock was a popular build, going north, leaving the chair after you cheer somebody, and then boom, 20% probability that anybody can go down, or rather 2 hits with 1 shot. Oh my God, there is nothing more annoying than when you're playing 1 versus 4, other than my laugh and my dad jokes. Those are definitely more annoying, and my personality. But other than those 3 things, there is nothing more annoying than you going in and you're like, yeah, I'm going for the rescue. No big deal. I got this. That's right, boo boo. That's right, girl. That's right. I'm about to go in for the rescue. Put this on YouTube. Here we go. Go Doom Shock! Boom! Everybody's yelling at you in the post lobby. Why'd you get down and say, yo, 20% probability? There's nothing I can do about it. I'm happy. Yeah, I know the hunters camped anyways, but it doesn't matter. Which we got to do a video on eventually because let me tell you something. Camping is a viable strategy. Stop complaining about it. So anyways, Doom Shock Boo Boo been replaced with Wither. When a survivor is placed on a rocket chair and the hunter is 18 meters away, the hunter's normal attacks will reduce survivor's acceleration effect by 10, 20, 30%. So this is going to be an interesting strategy. The reason why this is going to be an interesting strategy is because it doesn't really apply to a lot of others. All right, so here's the idea. Let's read this carefully, okay? Players, nope, sorry. When a survivor, so this is the new skill that's replacing Doom Shock, and it's called Wither. When a survivor is placed on a rocket chair and the hunter is 18 meters away, the hunter's normal attacks will reduce the survivor's acceleration effect by 10, 20, 30%. The problem is that you're going to have to be super far away. In order, if you want to use this, you have to be super far away. And you're not going to do this as a Ripper. You might not do this as a Clown. It depends. There's a little bit of flexibility with Clown. We'll talk about that. And actually, there is flexibility. Here's the thing. You got to use a regular basic attack. You have to use a regular basic attack, and you have to be super far away from the survivor. And although the survivor's acceleration effect will be reduced by 30%, therefore, you also have a recovery time, because this has nothing to do with your recovery time. Wither has everything to do with the ability to reduce the individual's movement. So the question is how far away you can hit them. Think about the Clown. I guess technically the better strategy still is the rocket dash, hit them, instant recover, and hit them with the regular attack. So I don't really think that a Clown user is going to hit you with a regular attack, go through the attack recovery, and then use rocket dash. It makes no sense. So I don't think it's going to affect Clown much. The main strategy for Ripper is to really try to utilize that Foggy Blade first, instant recovery, hit you again. So I think what this is going to do, though, is that if the Ripper ends up hitting you with a regular attack, they have to be far away. A lot of Rippers don't want to do that, because a lot of Rippers want to play mind games and wait as long as possible so you don't get the rescue in time. I think that this is going to be an added bonus for some hunters, especially early game. But a lot of those hunters, we're probably looking at more. We're probably looking at a lot of the hunters that aren't really the current meta, because it's not really a strategy that Clown's going to use too much. It's just unless you can hit them super far away, and even then you're still better off doing a rocket dash with instant recovery. It's not going to happen with Ripper. I think it's going to be a big one for Spider. I think it could be a big one for Spider. I think that's going to be a decent one for Spider, because so a popular thing is to web you and then hit you. So if you're a Spider, you're 18 meters away. If I can web you and then hit you, you got a 30% decline. I just had a huge brain fart right there. I had a huge one. I just all right. So I think it might be good for a Spider, but a usual strategy for that is to try to web you twice. Try to web you far away, try to web you again within the 8 seconds. So I'm not really sure if a lot of Spiders are going to really get away from this tactic, but it could. I think it's going to give Spider the most flexibility out of everyone. All right. And Photographer, I guess, right? Photographer, I guess that will work for Photographer, right? All right. Eye for an Eye is replaced with a new talent, Cat and Mouse. Gain 20% bonus on window vaulting speed after continuously pursuing a survivor for 12 seconds. The bonus effect disappears when the pursuit fails or when interacting with other objects, attacking, or stunned. All right, so Eye for an Eye is now being replaced with Cat and Mouse. So we're going to go to the pictures. I'm kind of screwed for the survivors because I didn't really take any pictures of that. And that is on the south. Is on the southeast trail, which might be used because I think it's the first one that's going to be. So it's going to be the first one, and a lot of people are going to be using Detention, right? So Detention's still going to be a popular build. All right. We're going to talk about the Wanted Order shift in a second. I'm not talking about the new trait. We're going to get to that after this. The thing about this is that 12 seconds is a long time. It's a very long time. And my question is that what if you vault a window before the 12 seconds? There's no hunter that's going to just sit there, have me vault, and then they're going to wait like 2 or 3 seconds because they're trying to mathematically formulate 12 seconds in prediction in their head. It seems like you have to be pursuing them for 12 seconds, and then if you vault something or break something, it starts it all over. There's already a perk that's similar to this, so I don't think that this is really going to be anything too special. I think I could be wrong, but for 12 seconds, that's a long time for you to not be disrupted. So I mean, I think it could be an added bonus. we'd have to look at it. We'd have to look at the pragmatic of it, the pragmatic exponential likelihood that this would actually work. All right, so let's talk about the new big change. We're going to talk about wanted order is now replaced with trump card. Okay? Trump card. Players can change their secondary skills after the battle has started for 120 seconds. The cooldown time is refreshed in proportion and can only be changed once. This is going to be very interesting. Because what's going to be very interesting about this, now this is on the right wing. So essentially you can start the match with a certain trait, and within the first 2 minutes of the game, you can get rid of that trait and you can get a different trait. I think that it might be a very, very big trait. Big ability. I don't know how likely it is because we haven't done any of our real testing other than what's been on the test servers. But what's going to be interesting about this is that you're going to have a lot of hunters now who are going to start with blink. They're going to start with blink. They get the hit. They can finish you off. And then the question is that do they end up going to teleport? Because the thing is that if you can secure the first kill, and then you have detention and you have teleport, at the end of the game, no matter how bad you're playing, there's a very good likelihood that you're going to be able to accurately measure where the survivors are, teleport, finish up for a second kill. So what's going to be very interesting is do you use that blink, which is a season 1 tactic? Do you use blink to secure that first hit, to try to get that first kill, switch over to teleport, do a good job defending the first person, and then after that you have teleport. You have the ability to move around the map now. You have the ability to now get to a different part of the map like Moonlit, a different part of the map like Lakeside, where you're no longer obligated to just go and take teleport in the beginning because of a Priestess. You're no longer obligated to take teleport at the beginning of the match because the map is too big. I think Lakeside and Moonlit is going to change now. I think that there are hunters who may use this build depending on maps. I think people will use different builds for different maps, just like they use different hunters for different maps. So the idea is that if you build on the right wing now, and if you build down, you have the ability to use 2 traits. You have the ability to not only put more pressure on the Cypher machines, right? You also have the possibility of Dream Witch. Can you imagine a Dream Witch with blink in the beginning of the game and then changing that to abnormal in the end of the game? That could be scary, but then she may have to get rid of her confined space. The iAlien told me that, which was interesting. So the point is that what's going to be very interesting is to see how people utilize this. If people are going to no longer build north, but if they don't build north, then it's going to be harder for them to kill people because they're not taking the pallets down as fast. They no longer have that 40% increase to pallet destruction, which is notorious for the north line. My premise is that if you can give a top hunter blink in the beginning of a game and you allow them to change that to their flexibility later, that's scary. That's very scary. It's going to be very difficult to beat hunters if they can secure that first kill. Think of the current strategy that survivors use. The current strategy that survivors use is that you try to kite, you try to save them twice. By the time they go down the 3rd time, you pop up that final machine, everybody gets their boost, everybody runs away, right? Now, the reason why this strategy works is because a lot of hunters, they don't use teleport. Some do, like Geisha, etc. They used to use teleport sometimes in season 1 and 2. But for the most part, a lot of people have been using teleport to counter the Priestess, which has been there. But then people can kite longer in the beginning of the game because nobody has blink. So now, if you use blink and you're really able to decrease the likelihood of somebody kiting for a very long time, not only can you kill survivors faster, but if you change over to teleport, you're going to have the ability to navigate the map a lot faster as well. You're no longer sacrificing anything. So I think that's going to be it. I think a lot of people are going to play with it. I think a lot of people are going to experiment with it. And I welcome that experimentation. I'm excited to see what some of the top hunters say about what they think is going to be the current meta regarding these persona changes. Be careful of the clickbait. There's a lot of YouTubers that will love to get your clickbait right now. Be careful of it. Be a little patient. Explore. See what some of the players are doing. I'm very excited. I'm excited to see how this is going to work out. Carnival got adjusted, gained 5 to 7 to 10% attack recovery speed, and 3 to 4 to 5% movement speed when the exit gate is activated. Effect lasts 120 seconds. That attack recovery speed and that movement speed in conjunction with teleport is going to be fun. And by fun, I mean annoying. You have claustrophobia. If there are 4 active survivors that are not tied to the rocket chair, balloons, or whatever, within 20 seconds after the exit gate has been activated, it opens 70% slower. I don't really think this is going to be utilized too much because a lot of hunters would allocate their points to help them get the kills rather than allocate points to essentially say, I don't think I'm going to get the kill, so I got a backup plan. You know, now Priestess is being nerfed, which is a huge thing. You can't use Tide Turner going into the global portal. These are very, very important things. Excited. Okay. Let's talk about the survivors. So actually, before we move on, what are your thoughts? What do you think? Do you think the right wing is going to be the current meta? I think it might change. I think detention is still going to be detention. I think people are going to have to choose between North and the thing is that you can. I'm excited. So what are your thoughts? I want to hear about it. What tier is Dreamwitch? Dreamwitch is up there, probably anywhere between B and A tier. All right. What else we got? Yeah, Persuade because Patroller early game and Abnormal late. I use Dreamwitch. Yeah. What's going on, Gail? Yeah, that is a strategy. There's a lot of strategies, a lot of different strategies with Dreamwitch, which I find is interesting. So Danny, I don't think the meta will change too much. So the question is, do you still think it's going to be north to south or west and south for a lot of people? Buff Gamekeeper, I agree with you on that one. We'll get to the doctor. Will you plan as Hunter again? I've been playing as Hunter. I have like 3 different accounts that I play on. Let's see. Left and right wing people need to survive longer. What's going on, Navadre? Good to see you. Hey, Navadre, it was fun playing with you the other day. Lazy Box, the wanted order will still, you can actually go right wing and then just go northeast. Wanted order is replaced on northeast, I believe. Is it true Geisha is getting an adjustment? We'll see. All right, let me see. You remember me, the real Navadre. Yeah, of course I do. This way, do you think up on Persona will be good one day or meta? Are you talking about survivors? We'll talk about that. Maybe, if I remember. I actually believe that the question is, after Soul Weaver's nerf, is Ripper the best hunter? I actually think that Ripper has always been the better hunter. He technically has a higher elimination rate than what the Spider does. So, I mean, in the Call of Abyss, the elimination rate was around 56% for the Ripper, but the Spider was 52%. But you also got to remember that when the Spider played, most of the time Spider played in the first round, and she had to face more complex, less bans. So we can't just use that statistic and run with it. There are other variables that we have to explain with it for sure. All right, let's talk about survivors. I don't remember all these personas, to be honest with you. So Disturbance is replaced with a new talent. Stealth, Decoding Speed. What? Survivors in self-decoding speed is increased by 5, 15, and 30% when 1, 2, or 3 survivors have been eliminated. What is that? Trying to think here. I can't remember. So 5%. So when survivors are eliminated, essentially what's happening is that you can decode faster. In top tiers, we're pretty much trying to make sure that when we kite, we're decoding as long as only one person is on the rocket chair the entire time. So using this in top tiers isn't going to be as effective. It doesn't mean that people won't select it, but for the most part, in top tiers, you're trying to have a good enough game where one person is kiting around and etc. Usually, even if you decode faster, 5% faster, if somebody's eliminated, most hunters have detention. Usually, at that point, it's still going to revolve in a tie. So I'm not sure. I know it looks good on paper, but I don't think it's going to be too pragmatic. Hawthorne effect is replaced with a new talent. Symbiotic effect. Movement speed is increased by 2, 4, 6% when running towards survivors in rocket chairs within 30 meters. So the only thing that I'm upset about right now is the fact that I cannot remember for the life of me where Hawthorne effect was. I can't remember. I don't remember where Hawthorne effect was. So this is relatively a good perk. You can increase movement speed 30 meters next to the rocket, which allows you to get to your target faster or even later. So that's a good thing. So your rescues are going to be on time. That might be something good for especially a coordinator. Mercenaries got elbow pads, so they always are going to have the flexibility. But the ability to move faster is also your ability to dodge. Your ability to move faster is your ability to dodge a Ripper. Your ability to move faster is your ability to dodge a Ripper's fog. You're moving faster, 6% faster. You can juke faster. You have better chances of really removing yourself from that fog, which I actually think that Ripper is going to be the #1 banned hunter soon, as he should. He's super annoying. Let's see, Spectator, talent adjustments. Movement speed is increased by 10% when running towards a survivor who is injured or knocked down within 30 meters. The speed of heal on others is increased by 20%. Displays wounded survivors except for those tied to balloons. Okay, so again, I don't remember where the placement is on this. So unfortunately, I can't give you analysis as to whether this is actually going to be utilized. Can't remember this. The general rule of thumb is that you want to keep decoding and decoding and decoding, and then sometimes you want to rescue if it's not too far out of your way. But if it's too far, that is final north. Okay. But if it's too far away, oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, again, north build. I don't think anyone's really going to use it as much, if I'm being honest with you. All right, exit out of the announcement. All right. Self-deception. Survivors have 100% chance of not being detected by the hunter when shocked by the cipher machine. Level 2 talent will no longer interrupt the decoding progress when shocked by the cipher machine, and level 3 talent will decrease shock action by half. So, my question about self-deception is this going to work on the Mechanics doll? I don't know. Don't know the answer. Haven't tested it out. I don't think it will, but will it? Because what you're essentially saying is that level 2 talent will no longer interrupt the decoding progress when shocked by the cipher machine. That's one of the biggest problems with Mechanic if you're constantly allowing the puppet to shock itself, is that the progress goes back, I believe, still, right? So with this sort of perk, the question is, will it remove that? I don't think it did before. I can't remember. Yeah, it doesn't work. Is anyone able to confirm that? Will this work on the puppet? Because that's going to be definitely a Mechanic option, but I don't think it's going to work. Yeah, okay, okay. Yeah, Alex is usually reliable with this stuff. That's what I'm thinking. It would make no sense. Can you imagine? That would be a huge buff to Mechanic again. That would be a huge buff to Mechanic. Okay, good. Yeah, exactly. It'd be too OP, so this is kind of useless. Herd effect is replaced with new talent, Horsefly effect. When there is a hunter within the range of 12 meters for 8 seconds, pallet dropping speed will increase by 8%, 14%, and 20%. So I have a few problems with this. I can't wait to get rid of this beard. I've been growing it on purpose. I get it cut in the next few days. I won't look like. I think somebody called me a hobo. I started laughing. Somebody was trolling me. They really don't like me. They're like, "You look like a hobo." And I was like, I feel like that's I mean, that's still kind of a polite insult. So thank you. You could have gone with something way worse, but calling me a hobo. That was like it was gentle. You know, it was like a little gentle thing. All right. All right. So when there is a hunter within the range of 12 meters for 8 seconds, pallet drop in speed will increase by 8%, 14%, 20%. So the problem with this is that it's not going to be as black and white as everybody thinks. All right. There's a popular kiting strategy where you keep. I know it sounds kind of weird. It's hard to explain, but you keep running straight. Like there's times when you need to tight kite, and there's times where you need to take the hell off. And you take off to put as much distance between you and the hunter, and by the time they catch you, you can tight kite. Right? So you don't always want to wait for the hunter to come to you, because what you could do is you could wait, you could keep moving, depending on what your build is. And instead, what you're doing is you're wasting 20 seconds of that hunter's time, and then you're kite. But if you just wait right here, you're allowing the hunter to engage with you, whereas you could have wasted at least another 20 seconds. Sometimes it's better to do that, even if you're in a weaker area, not too weak. You don't want to cut yourself dry here. But yeah, so the problem with this is that you're not always going to be near a pallet within this time frame. Second of all, it's going to be nice to try to stun. I guess really what this essentially says is that if you are in that area and the hunter comes, you got pretty much one good shot to stun. And the hunter is going to expect that, and you got to be careful with a ripper, because the ripper is going to wait for that, and they're going to foggy blade you through the pallet, right? So I think it's going to be pretty good, but the problem is it doesn't tell me when it reloads, right? When there is a hunter within the range of 12 meters for 8 seconds, pallet drop in speed is increased by 8%, 14%, 20%. Again, I guess that's a nice thing, but it's for a very brief period of time. That doesn't mean that the hunter is near you, and now you have 8 seconds near a pallet. Sometimes the hunter comes to you, and it takes you 8 seconds to get to a pallet, and then by then, it's not going to be useful anymore. That's if they're within the 12 meters. So I think that it's going to be a nice little added cushion that you can use once in a while. I don't really think it's going to change kiting strategies, though. I think it's going to help people who are in tight areas. But a lot of the experienced veterans, they know where the. So let me give you an example, right? I would like to give you guys a specific example to illustrate exactly what high tiers do. Okay. Think of not Arms Factory, Sacred Heart. So if you're a hunter and the hunter spawns on the big statue on Sacred Heart, okay? So on Sacred Heart, you have that big statue. To the left is the ruins. Further left is the shack. To the right, you're going to have that little window that leads to the 2 pallets, and then you have your railing even further to the right over there. Yeah. So I hope you guys know where big statue is. As a hunter, when you spawn there are 4 spawns that the survivors spawn in. One is to your right in the ruins over here. Okay, it's outside of the ruins. Outside of the ruins, too far, so you can go right, and you have a survivor right there. You have a survivor who is on top in the hospital, so he's on the 2nd floor, and then you have 2 people to your left. One is kind of near shack; it's a little bit on an angle, and the next person, they spawn right next to each other, is kind of in front of that front entrance. So you have 2 people to the right. I'm sorry, to the left. You have 1 person to your right. You have 1 person, right? So usually top hunters memorize the 4 spawns with every single spawn. And what happens is that when you have 2 survivors over here, so let me I know it's some people are not following here, and that's okay. You have the big statue, and to your left, you have 2 people who spawn kind of near each other. Both are kind of near shack. They're in between shack and the hospital. All right, the entrance of hospital. There's 2 people that spawn there. If you have a left to right build, you actually want to go into shack, because you can kite good with a left to right build going in shack. You can wait drop the pallet, you can hop the window, you can also go into the hospital. If you don't have a left to right build, sometimes it's better for you to move away, because a lot of hunters will move to the left. Now, what a lot of top survivors do is they know this. When you spawn over there, you have a good idea. Okay, I know that the hunter is going to probably spawn a big statue. So I have footage of this in today's rank mode. I went against a top 3 clown user on our server. We had 2 of us who spawned there. I have a left to right build. My partner does not have a left to right build. I specifically go to Shaq. They specifically run away from Shaq because they know that Shaq is a little bit harder to kite in if you don't have a left to right build. You can still manage it, but it can be really difficult depending on especially a spider, whatever. So one of the kiting strategies is that people will pick routes knowing that the hunter is going to that route if they have a good build. Now, the other strategy is actually a more high tier strategy. If you know exactly where the hunter is going, actually sometimes survivors will completely transition out. So those two people will completely go to the other side of the map, knowing that the hunter is going to go through the ruin, wait for tinnitus, go to Shack, right? But it's a gamble because if the hunter ends up going right to that one person instead of left, you have two people who are transferring over to the area that they're going into. So you see more of this transitional kiting on maps like Lakeside when you're in Shack and you automatically move over to small boat. You see more of these high tier transitional kitings with Moonlit, where if you start on one side of the map where everyone used to go to a roller coaster, instead of trying to just waste time kiting, you just immediately run to the other side of the map. The idea is you waste early game, right? Because a lot of hunters, they don't have teleport. Or if they do have teleport, you want them to use it right away. And then if they're using it, you have a whole bunch of kiters. Okay. The problem with this horsefly effect is that, again, my issue with it is that I think it's going to be good in certain circumstances, but once that hunter catches up, you got the 8 seconds. I think it's an added bonus. I'm being a little too cynical here. I think it's a better thing than not. The question is how buff do we really want survivors to get? The second question is are they going to need it now that the hunters are going to have a little bit more flexibility with some of their ability to utilize two traits if they so choose. So we'll see if people end up actually using that. The idea that we give people like Sprinter, people like Call Me Duty, a blink in the beginning, it's just gonna. Oh, thank you. Okay. Escape. Movement speed is increased by 3, 4, 5% for 120 seconds when the exit gate is activated. So boom, same stuff. All right. So we have other things to talk about. Let's talk about adjustment logic. I'm not going to go into the self-healing. There's healing, getting healed, healing others, injured self-healing, knockdown self-healing. I just feel like a lot of that was common sense. I know that Doctor got nerfed. Who knows why Doctor needed the nerf? Priestess. Let's talk about Priestess, baby. All right. I'm so excited. I am so excited that Priestess is going bye-bye. And I don't mean with the portal, but then she can portal herself to hell because I'm sick. Try not to swear. I'm just sick of facing her, dude. Oh my god, I can't tell you how many users are so easy to kill, but then they put the little stupid portal down. Oh my god. All right, so let's talk about Priestess, okay? Dude, I'm so biased. I know. I'm admitting it, right? I'm admitting it. I've been saying this. Do you know how many Priestess mains I've pissed off in the past, like, 2 weeks? A lot, because I give my opinion. This has been happening since season 1. There's always some survivor that's ridiculous, and then all of their players get mad at me because I say this survivor is ridiculous. Priestess was ridiculous. So let's talk about Priestess. Priestess passage is renamed into Straight Passage. The passage formed after summoning is renamed to Ultra Long Passage. So I feel like there's no creative ultra long passage. Like they could have named it anything. And it's very ultra long. All right. So straight passage. For straight passages, both survivors and hunters can pass through it. Passages entered by hunters will be destroyed after they squeeze through. At the same time, the hunter will be stunned for a period of time. Now here's the catch. The stun duration increases with the passage's length. If anyone told you length doesn't matter, well, that is a lie. Teammates going through the straight passage will no longer leave a residual image. So essentially they're saying that the longer the passage is, see, length matters. If the hunter goes through the long passage, the longer it is, the stun duration is going to be longer. So as an example, if you're in Sacred Hospital and you're on that balcony and you use the portal, right, when the hunter goes through it, the stun's not going to be too long because the portal is very, very tiny. It's a micro portal, right? However, if you go through Moonlit River and you use it through the river, right, it's a little bit longer. And so when you go through the duration, the stun's going to be a little bit. I think it's still going to be relatively annoying for priestesses. The question is going to be how long is it, and by that I mean how long the stun duration is. So she could still be viable, but it's not. She's not going to be as viable. So here's the thing: Priestess will still be used. People will still use her. What's going to be nerfed is the ultra long passage because they couldn't come up with anything more creative. Hunters will not be able to go through it, but the ultra long passage can be destroyed during its forming. Survivors going through the ultra long passage will still leave a residual image. Fragile. Priestess's fragile effects is decreased to 10%. Spiritualist. Priestess Spiritualist cipher machine decoding speed is decreased by 10%, and door opening speed reduction has been removed. Priestess passage limit has been removed, and the Priestess's passage will no longer have a usage limit. Optimize the range and direction of attacks on Priestess's passage. My question is, can you know what you can know? I thought you could no longer use Tide Turner with this, right? So if somebody tries to form it, they form it. You can't go through with a Tide Turner. It's like the big thing, but it doesn't say anything here. All right. So I don't really know. And I don't really think, I thought that Tide Turner was not supposed to. So if Tide Turner doesn't work with this strategy, it pretty much removes her ability to do the saves. Tide Turner is poop. Okay. It's official. It's been stated. I really hope that they put that through. Increased decoding, Volton, and unlimited portal sounds good. It's just going to put a stop to the stupid long portals like on Moonlit, which is fair enough. Yeah. So this makes her more reasonable. So you can still use this with Tide Turner. Okay. So you can still use this with Tide Turner, but here's the problem. You can destroy the portal while it's being formed. That's the big thing. So you can destroy the portal while it's being formed, whereas you couldn't do that before. So it does remove her saving ability like it used to. It's not the same. If you have Tide Turner and you try to activate that portal as a hunter, you can get rid of the portal. So with that being said, I am going to consider that a nerf because the strategy used to be, yeah, the strategy. So the original strategy was you put the global portal down, then you go for the rescue, and then the person runs to the global portal. That was the original strategy. Then people redefined it, made it even better, and said, hey, how about we just have the person get hit with Tide Turner and use the global portal themselves because you can't destroy it while it's being formed. So if you're going to try to use Priestess, you actually have to go back to the original strategy because if you have Tide Turner and you try to activate this portal, the hunter can destroy it while you're trying to form the portal. It's not going to work like it used to, which means that if you are going to try to use Priestess, you may have to go back to the first strategy where you try to use the super portal and then you go for the rescue and the person runs back to it. That's going to be interesting. It's almost like it's going to revert back to the original strategy of Priestess. We'll see. I'm getting excited. I'm sorry. I'm starting to wake up a little bit. All right. I'm going to read that again real quickly, though, right there. But the ultra long passage can be destroyed during its forming. Boom. I think that Priestess is still going to be used. People are still going to want to use her portals to add a little bit of flexibility. But at the end of the day, her viability on a team is definitely going to be reduced. So as bad as it sounds, Priestess users are just going to be probably more selfish. That's probably what's going to happen. Trying to read some of the Priestess isn't trash now. Her portals are back now. Yeah, I wouldn't say she's trash. I would say that her ability to do the portal trick, which was one of the biggest reasons to use her, are now gone. She's still she could still be used on Moonlight any day. But they're gonna have to be smart with the portals. Yeah, exactly. We're gonna have to see how long the stun duration is. We have to look at the stun duration and say, okay, is there enough time for Priestess to do her job? And now, yeah, and then, but on the other hand, Priestesses can now throw unlimited portals. But it doesn't matter because at the end of the day, it still takes you like 8 minutes and 52 seconds, I think it is, to go through 10 portals. So there's just going to be more portals on the ground. But the hunter's going to be able to go through. Okay. Let's see what we have. So Evil Reptilian is now available in ranked matches. You guys are asking questions about Doctor. So adjusted Doctor talent. Doctor will no longer take effect for knockdown self-healing. Adjusted Shelter talent. Shelter will no longer take effect for knockdown self-healing. So what I believe that these mean is that for the talent is not going to help the Doctor with her own knockdown self-healing. I think that's where the nerf technically comes into play. So when she's knocked down, her ability to help herself has been nerfed. I believe that's what the translation is. All right, so Priestess, we talked about decrease Soul Weaver's acceleration in 1 cobweb and movement speed recovery rate, and slightly decrease Soul Weaver's acceleration in 2 cobwebs and movement speed recovery rate. All right. The whole community, y'all been asking for this nerf. You have been y'all been asking for the Soul Weaver nerf. Been asking for it for a long time. You already got like 5 of them, but here's your 6th one. So I hope you guys are happy. So what this is going to mean is that Ripper is, in my opinion, going to be better than Spider. I as a perfumer, I struggle against Rippers more than anyone else. Any other hunter I can do okay with if it's early game, like one-on-one, like early game. Early game. Like not you going after someone else and then coming after me with Blink and saying, "Oh, I killed you in 30 seconds because you were able to use Blink," which was So, but my ability to kite is still struggling. I'm still practicing. I got a long way to go. My mistakes are decreasing, but I'm still rusty. I'm still practicing just like the rest of you are. But Spider wasn't too big of a problem for me as a perfumer. Ripper is. So to nerf Spider when survivors already have all of these, like Enchantress is a joke. Enchantress is a joke. I mean, I don't understand. I mean, that's just me. I think Enchantress requires very little skill. That's just my opinion. Again, disagree. It's okay. You're allowed to disagree with me. That's okay. You know, that ability to constantly stun, etc. Well, stun after being down and build up a 3-stack and get that stun on in conjunction with other people. I mean, it's just, I don't know. She takes skill. I'm being cynical. I'm sorry. She takes skill, but she's annoying. She's just super annoying to go against as a hunter. So to nerf hunters is kind of annoying, but this might be a good thing. Hi, T. Persuadable. Do you have any advice with kiting Invisible Ripper? No, I actually think that that's what Ripper's nerf needs to be. I am happy with the way that Ripper is if you get rid of invisibility. There's literally no reason to have him invisible. Give him his speed buff. Give him his foggy blades. He's already one of the best hunters. There is no reason to give him invisibility. Literally none. The dude is already strong enough with that movement speed. But you give the dude movement speed bonus and invisibility, that's insane. So get rid of invisibility. There's no reason to have it. There's no person that there's no person that will stop using him when he's like that. If you nerf that, people will still use him. He'll still just be as good. You deserve every right to see me. Or reduce my movement speed and make me invisible. Either one, but to give both is kind of ridiculous. Give me a second. Okay. I'm scrolling down. Hold on. There's so many things coming into play. Optimize the mechanism of various interaction speed buff debuffs in the game. Now, if buffs debuffs are triggered during the interaction of survivors and the hunter, the buffs debuffs effects will take effect immediately. Okay. For a hunter's trait abnormal, we adjusted the value when the effect decreased with increase in usage, and the value of recovery will also decrease in relation to the actual game time. So that's because of some of the damn Dream Witch users. So for a hunter's trait abnormal, we adjusted the value when the effect decreased with increase in usage. I think that's a nerf. Optimize hunter's attack judgment through windows. That's a good thing. So there's times. Are there any hunters right now who are watching where somebody climbs through the window, you swing, and for some reason you don't connect? Raise your hand if that's happened to you, because I'm going to raise my hand. Raise your damn hand. Have you ever swung at a window, you knew that they were going, you knew they were going to get a little boo-boo on their bum, but they ain't get no boo-boo on their bum. You got a boo-boo on your wrist because you hit absolutely nothing, and the impact of the wall broke your radiocarpal joint, RCJ, right here, baby, right? Yeah, well, hopefully that's going to be fixed a little bit. That's what the purpose of that is. The devs have been paying attention to a lot of people feeling like what I call it phantom windows. I don't like phantom windows. I call it a phantom window. A phantom window. You swing at a damn phantom. You're like, come on, dude. He was right there. I know I was saying. There's actually times where I'm a survivor, and I was like, yeah, that just kept me alive right there. Let's see. Optimize character's movement logic when delay is higher. Adjusted the building structure in Leo's memory and changed one of the windows into a door. There we go. We've only been asking for the same thing on Arms Factory for 6 seasons, but it's okay. Progress is progress. So, in Leo's memory, I think that window on the side, right? So you have the rocket chair over here. You have the cipher machine behind the cipher machine. I think that window turned into a door, which is good. It's a good thing. Okay. Optimize the special effects, blah, blah, blah. Daily free-to-use characters have been increased to 3 characters. Perfumer, Wu-Chang, Photographer, Cowboy, Dancer, Seared, and Bomber have been added to the I clicked the wrong button and I don't know what the rest of the sentence was. Hold on. Let me go back there. Have been added to daily free-to-use characters. Added interface and screen space and adjustments function. Opening the settings interface and tapping on the space settings will allow players to adjust the space between the screen and interface in order to match various screen sizes in full screen settings. What does that mean? Does that mean that I'll be able to change my damn button sizes so when I hit my perfume, I don't hit the wrong button? I got a question for you. I don't know. I'm probably wrong. I'm like 90% wrong. How many of you, raise your hand again? How many of you, because I want to make sure I'm not stupid, but there's a good chance I am stupid, but I want to make sure. How many of you, when you play Perfumer, you try to activate your damn perfume, you know for a fact that you clicked your damn perfume, but the perfume didn't activate? Is there anyone that happens to? Please, for the love of God, don't tell me I'm the only person this happens to, because I'm telling you, I'm losing my shit about this. All right, thank you. Oh, you guys keep me sane. You guys keep me sane. Do you know? Poor Call Me Duty. So first of all, I'd like to congratulate Call Me Duty for being champion. He hit champion at Survivor. Round of applause for Call Me Duty. He hasn't done that since season 2. A lot of us don't give a damn about rank, to be honest with you. We play the game. We have like 4 ults just because we want to get in the matches. But Call Me Duty. Good job, bro. Good job. Right now I'm tier 5, 2, 1 star. So I gotta get to tier 6, and then we're gonna play Hunter more. But that poor bastard, he plays with me. Do you know how often I'm yelling in the mic? Like yo, 2 days ago. Like no, not yesterday. Was it yesterday? Yesterday. I got so mad. I'm just sitting there, turn around, go to hit my perfume, nothing. When I tell you I was screaming in Call Me Duty's ear, and I feel so bad for him. I'm like, yo, like yo, I got up from my chair, yo, like I felt like I was on steroids. I'm like, what? I was so mad. All right, anyways, yeah, Devs, let me change the damn button sizes. My stupid fat fingers, I don't hit the perfume button. I just want bigger buttons. We just said that size matters. I just want really big buttons. All right. I don't know what the hell is wrong with me, but whatever. Record has been added with win rate descriptions. Win rate is further defined by the win rate of the last 100 matches. All right. Added emote, evil reptilian, crystalline to the costume interface. Adjusted the interface position when survivors are struggling. Okay. Optimize some of the daily available boring stuff. Optimize the calculation method of the estimated wait and time. Wow. Thank you. Because sometimes it says that I gotta wait like 6 minutes, and then I got a match in 10 seconds. And then it tells me I'm going to get a match in 24 seconds, but then I'm waiting 8 minutes. So I honestly feel like, no offense to you, Debs, but y'all giving me trust issues. I have trust issues now because so your waiting time, we're going to need to work on our relationship, and hopefully through a lot of counseling and with a lot of consistency, you're going to be able to what is that? Thank you. Boom. All right. Yo, Persuade, me and you need to collaborate. What's going on, Cyber Thug? I'm down. Yo, I'm so down to collaborate. So down to collaborate. Let me know when. You know what? Duty will do it too. How about we get Cats on there? Cats is a remarkable person, man. Let me just tell you something. Cats is a loyal guy. Anybody that is surrounded by cats, you got a good friend. I love cats. Cats is my homie. We troll each other sometimes, but I absolutely love cats. Cats, Duty, Finesse. Finesse with some leadership today. Finesse the kid. He had to step up to the plate to do some leadership today. And here, so we were in a situation today, and you know, we talked to Finesse and a few people, and we were like, you know, what do we do from here out? What's our best option? And Finesse the kid is quiet for like 3 minutes, and we're like, Finesse, what are we gonna do? What's your opinion? And Finesse comes out with the most legendary advice ever. You guys ready to hear Finesse Kid's leadership style? You ready for this? This is Finesse's leadership style. Here's what he says. Dude, let it go. That's all he said. It was a huge thing that we were working with to try to figure out the best. Dude, you just gotta let it go. Dude, Finesse is like our surfer bro. Yo, life is like a wave, man. Sometimes you just gotta ride the wave. Sometimes it's rocky and you just gotta flow with it. Sometimes you gotta flow with the wave like a boat. It's going side to side, but it's all good. It's all good because the boat's still gonna be up. It's what life is like. Yo, Finesse is watching this, yo. He's gonna lose his shit. um, King. I believe that the window change is the one upstairs between the window and the pallet. Ooh, I don't know, King. I'm sorry if I said the wrong information. Thank you very much for the correction. So yeah, so that is that's a lot of updates, ladies and gentlemen. That's a lot of updates. Wow, that's a lot of things that we can look forward to. You better believe that hunters are gonna come out with a whole bunch of different tactics. I'm really excited to look at that right wing. Give me Blink. Give me. I mean, you don't really need Blink, I guess, with like Ripper, so to speak. But yeah. Somebody wrote Dariel X Grizzly. That's hysterical. Persuadable. How to use perfumer when she's injured? You pray. That's what you do. When your perfumer is injured, you're screwed. You just pray. Forward is S tier. Persuade. He is not. Hi, Captain. Yes, always good to see you. You need to make a live stream where you do custom 2 versus 8 dances on the ship to slow boxes. Yeah. So what's going to happen? We're going to get back into the game. We're going to talk some more about the game in a second. What's going to happen is so actually a lot of people have been asking me, I think rightfully so. They go, Persuadable, how have you been playing the game so much? You have a like a real life career and stuff. So actually, I've been in contract negotiations this entire time. And so I have actually just been playing Identity 5 and working on my YouTube and business and that stuff while waiting for my next contract. My contract went through. I start on Saturday, which is why I'm going to be going for the next 2 or 3 days because I got to travel to Wyoming. So that's how I've been playing Identity 5. I'm so excited to go back to work. I've had way too much time. I've had way too much time on my hands. Being on Discord all day is miserable. I don't know how some of you guys do it, but being on Discord and then having to deal with certain people on Discord is just so annoying, fragile, ego. It's just nonsense, yo. Like, I can't wait to just be back in the grind where, like, yo, once I'm in Wyoming, I'm going to try to get the best Wi-Fi I can. And then that's when the live streams are going to happen again. I got my green screen in my car. And that's when we're going to be doing custom matches. We're going to be doing 1v1s. We're going to, keep building our own community, sticking to ourselves, and just doing the best that we can to do an okay job. I want to be able to play with a lot of you guys. And I also don't want you guys to be perfect. We have a lot of different personalities in our community. We try to be decent people. That's it. Some days we're going to do better jobs than other days. But at the end of the day, try to be a decent person. And you'll mesh well with a lot of people. We have a great community, man. We really do. We have a lot of good players, a lot of good people. I mean, the viewers, you guys are way better than me. You guys are better people than me. You guys are great people. So I want to be able to play with you guys and continue trying to improve and improve my own gameplay, improve your gameplay. Again, I've been very, very open with the community, telling you guys, listen, my gameplay is struggling right now. I'm doing okay in tier 5 too. But it's definitely nowhere near like it used to be, but it's okay. I'll get up there and keep practicing as much as I can. Takes practice. What's going on? Hi. What questions? Make sure if you guys have a question at me, I can see it. It highlights. What about Ripper and Wu Chang going through Priestess portals? What's your question about that, Salty? Hi, Salty. It's good to see you. Is lawyer buff or nothing? If nothing, still useless. Servier. Hi, Rookie. I don't know what that means. Can I make a montage for you? Yeah, sure. If you want to waste your time on me. You are very humble, but it may not be physically possible to be as good as a person. No. That's not true, man. That's not. I can assure you, I am just as fundamentally flawed as anybody else, man. I got a cocky side to me too. I'm not always humble. I'm the person that I need to be relative to the person that you are. So if you're somebody who has an ego, then I'm going to be very firm with you. I'm going to put you in your place, and I don't give a damn if you go and cry and take screenshots and try to show it everywhere. Oh, Persuadable's so mean. If you're a good person, you're humble, you're kind, you're going to get the same reaction out of me. So, but I am not a monk. I'm not. No, trust me, I can be just as arrogant as anyone else. If you bring that side out of me, it's usually indicative of your personality. So what you learn in psychology is that you actually have to communicate with people very differently. So if you're somebody who's arrogant, I'm going to treat you like you're an arrogant person. That's how you're going to be spoken to. Not necessarily with arrogance, but sometimes I'll meet arrogance with arrogance because at the end of the day, I'm just a human and I'll give it there. All right. So trust me, there are a lot of you guys are, trust me, more humble and better. I promise you that. I'm just a dude on YouTube. I promise you, I'm fundamentally flawed. I missed a lot of questions there. A portal stun through a wall about 2 seconds. Yeah, one tiny wall. Persuadable, it's a good idea to play Doc because people say I suck. Who cares what people say, Mystic? Screw them. Why people use Gardener? I'm just curious. Why not? People play the game so much. 6,000, 7,000 matches of the same game over and over. You want to have fun. Are you going to make a new Persona meta build? Yes, I will. What's your take on Geisha and Dancer? Dancer is better than Geisha. Geisha right now is pretty awful on the mobile device. Persuadable, the ping is killing the game on EU server. We EU players need a better ping. So I think your ping is around the same as mine right now, and it's awful. My ping is like 150. I've been complaining about it. A lot of you guys have ping that's way worse than mine, right? But like you don't have to, you don't got to do like the who has it worse than life. Like whenever I complain about my ping, and then a whole bunch of people are like, well, my ping is 200. I'm like, well, that's like me saying I broke my arm, and then you being like, well, I broke my arm and my leg. It's like, yo, what's up with the one-up competition? It's okay. Ping sucks. Broken arm sucks. Ping sucks. Broken arm and a leg sucks. Can just all suck. So I don't think the devs are going to do anything about it because I don't think that the EU market is necessarily expanding enough for them to invest more money into it. But they didn't tell me that. That's my own speculation. It cost a lot of money to implement those servers. You think Priestess will still be good? I think people will still try to use her. She could still be kind of annoying. She's just going to be a little bit more manageable. How do you get the photographer to hit the terror shock on the peekaboo? I never get the attack off before the survivor moves. It's hard. You literally have to go into it and swing. That's it. Like don't like try to aim it. Just literally just go in and swing. And sometimes it'll connect, sometimes it won't. Let's see. Finesse kid flexing his thing. Persuadable, stop missing the perfume button. Yo, Sprinter. Oh my, stop. Yo. What'd you just say? What'd you say, Sprinter? Did Sprinter stop missing the perfume? Did you just tell me to stop missing the perfume? Sprinter, you talk. Okay. Sprinter, I thought we were friends, Sprinter. You've always been there for me, remember? How did you tell me to activate the perfect button? You don't know this. Sometimes I click it. I click it for you. I click it for our friendship. I click it for all of us. It doesn't matter how many times I click the perfect button. It just doesn't work. All right. You know how long it took me to find these? I went out there and I'm like looking around. And I'm like, yo, I'm on live feed. I don't know what the tissues are. And then I got like super focused. I'm like, where are the tissues? Where do we put the damn tissues? Okay, so what other questions we got? I missed a whole bunch of stuff because Spencer was being a troll. This is dumb, thank you. But did you know a donut a day keeps the thickness to stay? Do you think that the juggler will be versatile? I don't know yet. Do you think hunters will be better than the survivors now? I hope so. Will you ever custom with people and tell them more one-on-one how to improve what they're doing wrong? Yes. I'm getting my skill back up there too. Nobody wants a teacher that sucks. Persuadable, is there a lawyer rework? He tried the perfume back, but persuadable. Do you think the hunters are going to be better than survivors or no? I hope that the hunters are better than the survivors. They deserve to be better. What do you think? Oh my god, there's so many questions. What do you think about the most picked hunter in top rank? When Weaver gets nerfed and Ripper will be banned in most games, who will get picked? Well, I mean, I'm actually seeing a lot of diversity now to a degree. I'm seeing more Mad Eyes players. Dude, Mad Eyes can be annoying. Yo, like low key, like Mad Eyes can be super, super annoying. Like a good Mad Eyes player, like all right. So as an example, I was on Moonlit River. Now here's what sucks. I'm gonna get back to that point. What sucks about being a survivor is that it sucks when you play against hunters that aren't currently the top dog. Because like I'll go against a Dream Witch and I'll completely forget how to kite just because I haven't gone against a Dream Witch. Like Mad Eyes. So I was going against a Mad Eyes on Moonlit. I was inside the tent, so not the 2-story, but the tent. Mad Eye starts coming after me, and I start running. And when I start running, I go over the bridge. Dude, literally, like right then and there, like boom, blocks it off. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. What do I do? Do I just wait there for you to hit me? Or like, I was so stupid for that. So that was like a learning lesson where it's like and what's annoying about Mad Eyes is there's so many different strategies. You had like that old Boso style where like you try to hit with the traps. Now you have a lot more aggressive Mad Eyes who will actually chase you and try to trap you. So as people get better with Mad Eyes, it'll be interesting to see if he's played more. Dream Witch is becoming so annoying. You have some very good Dream Witch players. You have notable Dream Witch players such as like Moonbell. Moonbell is really good with Dream Witch. You also have people like Spectator. Spectator can be really annoying sometimes with that use. There's other Dream Witch users as well. And as people get better with Dream Witch, that's going to be even more annoying than what it is now. So I think that with Spider's nerf, I think Ripper needs to be banned every game. But by doing that, you're allowing people who are excellent Mad Eyes and Dream Witch users to just have full reign control. So yeah, Trouble Miki is a great yeah, definitely. I would talk to Moonbell or Trouble Miki. They're good at what they do with their Dream Witch players for sure. Does Architect have unlimited wall energy? I can't even begin to tell you anything about him, man. I haven't played him forever. Persuadable is a magician. Dream Witch sucks. Oh yeah, Dream Witch sucks. She's not that bad for her tier. She's probably A or B tier. Probably an A or B tier hunter. I wouldn't say she's S tier. If she was S tier, we'd probably see more of her. I'd say she's a comfortable A tier. A comfortable A tier character. But that's just me going off of the top of my head. We'd have to look at the data and the statistics. Right? That's the difference between our character tier list and others. We actually use data. We don't just slap random characters in the categories. You know what? When we do the character tier list, we try not using the excuse, "Oh, we're a top hunter or a top survivor, and this is what I think." And it's like no one cares what you think. What does the objective data say? So that's what we try to do. We try to get at that point. What hunter should get nerfed or buffed? Gamekeeper needs his damn buff. I've been waiting. Persuade, 2 questions. Will you get a man bun? No. And but yes, it's me from Katzing. Oh, what's going on? And will Geisha ever get buff or bug fixed? She definitely has bugs right now, and the devs are aware of that. What's going on, Raven? I think you are the best person player on the earth, and I love you. I am not the best person. I promise you, I am not the best person. I have my bad days and my grumpy days like anyone else, and I'm not the best player right now. I'm definitely not the best player. You have good hunters like Sprinter and Call Me Duty. Sprinter is also a top perfumer. Call Me Duty is a top any character he wants to play. He's ridiculous. You have AO. They're all up there. They're top dogs. You got some really good people from Boosted Clan like John Zhao. You got Tempted. Um, you got Blue Race Car. He's always been good. You got people over. I mean, they got Moo now. So there's a lot of good players. There's a lot of good players in the server. Um, I am not at the point in my kiting ability to say that I'm a best survivor. I don't think that. I don't think that right now. I got to keep practicing, and that's if I even want to keep practicing. To be honest with you, because I kind of like having fun. You know what I mean? Like give me a second. I like having fun. Persuadable. Will forward be any good with so many stun counter incoming? I think that there'll be a. I think that if somebody has a stun build, they might use it. Hey, see you later, Mystic. All right. This week has not been my best. I can usually kite for longer than 180, and this week I can't even kite for 60. Trust me, I've had those games too, Giselle. It's okay. Why do I keep being paired with bots? You gotta level up your character. Thoughts about coordinator and new meta? No. Let's see. Persuadable. What do you think of Lizard Man, the new hunter? I think that we need to give him more time. Um, I still don't think he's gonna be as good as Ripper, but we'll see what abilities he has. To be honest, Cord is dead. Cord is dead because of people like Ripper. Can you talk about mechanic? Nothing to really talk about mechanic, if I can be honest with you. This way, can you please give me tips to climb the ranks and characters to use to climb? I would use either Seer or Perfumer. Seer is nice because it'll help you really learn where the hunters spawn in the beginning of the match, if you pay attention. How do you stop panic kiting? What's going after you? How do you stop panic kiting? I think that's a troll question. Prospector is such a pain in the ass. I agree with you on that one. Let's see. You went from Drake to Jesus. Not good enough for Jesus. When is the tier list coming out? I don't know, man. How do you feel about Enchantress? She's annoying. What do you think about Magician? He's being phased out. He can still be used, and he will be used because other characters will be banned in tournament play. But he usually isn't going to be a first option. This may be off topic, but I really want a character design competition. Could you tell devs about the idea? They don't like character design competitions. They specifically told me never to have them either. Because what happens is that you try to have the player base do these fun ideas, and then people complain when it's not used. So although what you're saying has good intentions and it would be fun by the community, there will be people who complain. Why didn't you use it? We want this. We want it now. Just so you guys know, one character takes about 5 to 6 months of development. It takes a lot of time to develop these characters. Thoughts about coordinator buff needed? Buff needed. No, I don't think she needs a buff. I think that if you ban mercenaries, she'd still be used. But forward can be very, very annoying and good, and is the best rescuer if you're good with the football. I wouldn't say he's the best rescuer. I would say hands down, mercenaries is really It's hard to counter a mercenary. It's a little bit easier to counter a forward. They're resetting our personas. Damn, I gotta rebuild all 10. I don't know what you mean by that. How do you feel about solo queues? Awful. What survivor do you think needs a nerf? Enchantress and Prospector. Are devs going to add controller customs? I don't know. Persuadable, in your opinion, which is better for team play, Enchantress or Prospector? I mean, I think there's a lot of Chinese players who prefer Enchantress, to be honest with you. But I mean, Prospector can do a triple stun, so they both have their perks. Lurk is the best rescuer, absolutely. Can we make an angel lawyer skin? What do you think about additional points in the persona web? I think it's going to make things interesting. I'm sick and tired of the same persona builds. It's upsetting that this does nothing. Like it's upsetting that the personas are always the same. There's no creativity because you screw up your persona. At least this allows a little bit of flexibility. Persuadable. I'm a B rank magician. Do you think if the hunter is on me, should I try to get away and decode or try to waste the hunter's time? And this is early game, by the way. I mean, as a magician, it's kind of your job to kite because a lot of magicians don't build down and right. They usually build left or right. That's a popular magician build. So your ability is to kite, but if you can lose them, then you lose them. Why won't they add more to the web like Dead by Daylight? They're trying to. When will you stop crying at how broken Prospector is? Start using him, please. I don't think he should start with a magnet. I think he should have to earn it, just like Enchantress does. But that's just my opinion. Oh, there's a lot of questions. Yes, make new pro hunter tutorial vids with the new persona builds. I'll have to do that. Do you think the removal of wanted order will be bad? We'll see. It's not removed though. I think it's just reallocated to Northeast. Persuade from the perspective of survivors as of right now before the update. Do you think hunters need a buff? I am a Griffin survivor at 70-80% and think hunters need a buff. That's what they're hopefully getting now. So we'll see. Oh, there's a lot of questions. Will Survivor be worth playing after this update? Yeah, it's going to be a little bit harder, hopefully. Will Feaster get a pet tentacle soon? I don't know. I heard about a bride hunter who can hide survivors in her skirt. I can't find more info on her, but she seems fun. Have you heard anything about her, and do you know if she's coming? I don't confirm or deny any of the details about the future hunters because I don't want to get in trouble. How do you control 490 ping? You pray. Tide Turner should be nerfed. Yep. Do you think it would be good to change the struggle speed thing to a calibration instead? No. Do you think the Cypher Russian is a problem? Or that cheers like so all of the problems in terms of the balance, they're hoping that this is going to change that. They're hoping that by adding the persona points and by giving you the ability to switch traits if you so choose, allows you more flexibility. What I think is that if you choose certain hunters that can use blink, etc., you can always secure the kill faster if you're a good hunter, usually. So if you have to worry about blink all the time, so really what it is you have to secure that kill, and then even when hunters, even when they Cypher rush, now you have the ability to change to teleport afterwards. So you have a little bit of flexibility. But again, I don't know if that's going to be a popular strategy. I don't know if it's going to be a popular strategy. It's just people always ask me what I think is going to happen, and that's me saying that's what I think is going to happen. Persuade on Asia server, it's very hard to win solo as a survivor. It's hard to win as a survivor even as a US player in solo. Should Embalmer be buffed? I haven't thought about that. How would you nerf Enchantress? I think her gain in stuns for being hit needs to go. I agree. That's just my opinion. Persuadable, is Embalmer dead? No, it's not dead. Well, I mean, he's not a top tier survivor. I know John Zhao has been working hard to let everybody know. John Zhao is like a low-key troll. He's so funny. Because he's like, when I say low-key troll, I mean that like super respectful. He's, John is like so dead set. I'm making John and that Embalmer is like Cats and the Cowboy. Cowboy is so annoying. Oh my god, I'm starting. Ugh. Persuadable, do you think more people will switch over to the PC version of Identity? No, it's like dead. Hunter is funner to play that much of a Survivor, in my opinion. Have you seen the fan art in Discord last night? No, I haven't. I would like to look at it if there's stuff in there. I could put it in my videos. Persuadable, off topic, but I love your tattoos. They're cool. Oh, thank you, Raven. They're all right. They're okay. Can the priestess kite across the river if the hunter follow her through the portal, but she portals away again? I mean, that could be a strategy. Can you imagine portal, stun, portal, stun? What an that'd be so toxic. Do you think Wu Chang needs a buff? He's already been buffed. John and Persuadable. I don't think John would want that. Cowboys are kind of unique. Cowboys can be super annoying. Don't sleep on them. Persuade, what do you think about the Priestess nerf with her portable being accessible to hunters now too? Or her portal. I think it's a good thing. It makes her a little bit more manageable, for sure. It's a lot more manageable. I think that's more fair. But she gets unlimited portals, can put them all over the map. I mean, we'll see. Do you think the dancer needs a buff or the ability to pick up her music boxes? She's already been buffed. She don't need to be buffed anymore. Why they make it PC is Dead by Daylight superior version of it. Why they make it PC is yeah, it is. I have not seen the fan art. Have you ever tried New England clam chowder? Appio, yes I have. I live in New England. I come from New England. Does excitement work on Cowboy Lasso? I don't think so. I don't know. I have no idea. That's actually a really good question. You have to ask cats. I don't think anyone would use excitement though. Persuadable, can you make it an updated clown guide with the new? Yeah, we'll do that. I'll talk to Sprinter, see what he's got. I'm hoping to make another fan art of you and Grizzly. Yo, we'd appreciate that. Yo. Grizzly's a really nice guy. He's seriously such a super nice guy. Persuade, get away. I want the chair and go get a man bun. Winky face. Persuadable, do you think Geisha deserves a buff? No, she scarred me in season 2 when we were all trying. Season 1 when we were all trying to learn how to kite her. If you could change any character's gender, who would you change? I don't care about gender in real life or in the game. Should they just remove Gardener Box Rescues dismantle and she has as toxic? No, they shouldn't. Has the dev team said anything about being able to move account to the other servers? No, you're not ever going to be able to do that. Do you think a lot of people will quit playing Priestess after the update? No. Because a lot of people chose Priestess so they could kite. Because it was the only way that they could kite. Because they don't know how to kite, so they use portals. See, you see that cocky side of me? When you guys are all like, oh, Persuadable, you're so hot. No, like that side comes out of me. You just saw it. It's not a polite thing to say. But that's just how I felt. Like if I'm a hunter and I get kited by like a perfumer or I get kited by whatever, it's just like, oh, like, all right, you did your job. At least you outsmarted me. A Priestess is just, I'm just gonna put a portal down because I don't. You guys are gonna get me in trouble with all my Priestess trash talk. There's always gonna be somebody. If Hunter breaks the portal, then the Priestess could just put another one down while Hunter is destroying it in Moonlit. Yeah, but you're going to be wasting your portals. Do you really want to do that? You're going to be wasting your portals when you could be kiting. But I think, yeah, we'll see. What about Thief? Does he need a buff? Yeah, Thief needs a buff. He should get like a flashlight buff or something. Okay, excitement does not work on Cowboy. Thank you for answering that, seriously. Can you do an update video on Gardener and also the web? Sure. Cowboy isn't as good as Mercenary, but he is still toxic. You got that right. You got that right. Cowboy is super toxic. Do you think that Identity 5 should be available on consoles? Sure. Persuadable, are you an Identity 5 fangirl? Sure. Do you think Gardener will ever be meta? I don't think so. I love your cocky side. Not everybody does. I can tell you a lot of high tiers don't like that. In relation to survivors, how often do you shave your beard? I usually shave it every week, but because I've been enjoying my time off from work, I've gone Grizzly Adams. Why don't you play forward as much as you used to? I played forward to troll. I'm actually trying to regain some of my kiting routes and my kiting ability because I was gone for an entire season. Thoughts on Fulham misfortune being taken out? Super excited. Don't like Doom Shock. It shouldn't be in the game. I'm a top 100 Priestess, and I'm honestly scared I'll lose this spot because I feel I'll have to relearn Priestess. Yeah, but so will everybody else. If I'm missing questions, I'm sorry. They're like, yeah. Do you think after the Soul Weaver nerf, do you think Dream Witch will be the new top ban? No, I think survivors just need to get better at learning how to counter her. There's some tricks that Dream Witches can do. I've been going against some Dream Witches. Sometimes I kick their ass. Sometimes they kick my ass. So it happened to get healed off of that leech and to continue decoding. And there's a lot of communication that's required, and that's difficult in legendary rank mode when we don't have communication. When will you stream on Twitch again? Hi, Ren. Soon. I'll be on Twitch. We'll be back to streaming and building the community up even more and helping players get better and playing with them and streaming our 5 versus 5s. And yeah. Do you think Wildling needs to be a little faster? I'm the 43rd Wildling, and I think it should be a little bit. No, it should not be faster. It's just that Ripper is your biggest counter and Spider. More so Ripper. You need to play Little Nightmares. It's a good horror game. Yeah, I wish if I had time. My God, I'm missing some of this. Can you make a magician guide? Magician guide is a magician guide. The best magician ever to play this game 100% was Yo Mama. I wish Yo Mama was back here. A magician guide, there's just basic tricks that people do. There's some improv, there's routes. You have to learn all the routes with magician. The thing with magician is that you are an expert to write that to do that guide because like certain routes with perfumer work that you can do routes with magician that you can't do as good with other characters. And they'd be the ones that could define that. Are we still lagging? Should Dream Witch be a first hunter to get, or should you try something else? Definitely try something else. What do you think about Axe Boy, and what tier do you think he's in? He's probably B tier at the highest. At the highest, you got to see Sprinter. Sprinter's pretty good with him. All right, it's not lagging anymore. Okay, Identity 5 isn't going to die. Calm down, people. What's going on, Maxie? Maxie, I'll keep playing if Persuadable says I'm a good Dream Witch. You know what, Maxie, you're a good Dream Witch. Do I think so? The question is what do I think is going to happen between Identity 5 and Dead by Daylight? So Dead by Daylight mobile is coming, and I am definitely going to be playing that game, and I'm super excited for that game to come out, and I hope that it comes out and it comes out good. I hope they don't screw up the launch. I hope the servers work. Dead by Daylight mobile will give us something else to play. But the thing is that the devs are listening to the community right now because they know that, first of all, they know Dead by Daylight mobile's coming. And they, as much as people want to talk bad about the devs, maybe some of that's deserved, maybe some of it's not. The devs are like super proactive. Like there have been so many buffs and nerfs in this game. Like you pretty much need a history degree to remember all the stuff that they have done. Peepers used to be useless. Ripper was useless. Spider was useless. That's all. The current meta is completely different than what it used to be. So I'm excited for Dead by Daylight Mobile. I'm gonna play Dead by Daylight Mobile. People say, I know somebody said that they played Dead by Daylight for 2 years. I've been playing Dead by Daylight for a couple months now. It's at least a little bit more balanced than what it used to be. But at least survivors in that game need to know how to kite. Whereas in this game, you just have a priestess who could just put a portal down. I mean, persuadable. What if Identity 5 came to VR? How many drywalls would need fixing? Would it come to VR? What do you mean by virtual reality? Oh, yeah, I know. Yo, screw that. No. Do you think Dancer main should still have Ty Turner with her new buff? It depends on who. I mean, I wouldn't use a Dancer if you think you're going against a Ripper. That's your biggest counter. Let's see. Which survivors do you think need adjustments? We just talked about that. For Identity 5 and Farmer John, for what is a good first hunter to get? A good first hunter to get. I mean, I would say Ripper. DVD survivors can. I mean, it takes a little bit of skill to use Ripper, but at least you have a fighting chance. Okay, persuadable. What? All right. I have done the best that I can to answer as many questions as I could. We've been doing this for an hour and 40 minutes. I'm going to end this stream. I leave for Wyoming tomorrow, so I got to start packing up. I'll be back soon. I'll be back to live feeds. I'll be back to streaming. We'll be back to more YouTube videos. Just let me get settled in. Hopefully, I can get very good Wi-Fi. It's probably not going to happen until sometime next week. I'm hoping that I can get good Wi-Fi. Because right now I play on my data. And we'll keep playing, man. We'll keep playing. We'll be making friends and just keep chilling and doing our thing. Building. All right, you guys have a good day now. Bye-bye now.